Hey everyone, welcome back to another Deep Dive Explainer. Today, we're jumping headfirst into the incredibly high-stakes, fast-paced world of AI governance. Think of yourselves as elite AI detectives for a bit. Our magnifying glass? The ISO/IEC 42001-2023 standard. Look, as artificial intelligence gets baked into literally everything, from healthcare to high finance, the risks of things going spectacularly wrong are just higher than ever. And well, that's exactly where we come in. We're going to figure out how to systematically hunt down improvement opportunities within an AI management system. Get ready, because we are going to learn exactly how to uncover those sneaky system gaps and build airtight case files to keep these powerful technologies totally transparent and compliant. So here's our game plan for today's investigation. 1. The AI auditor's mission. 2. Mastering the PDCA model. 3. Spotting governance deficiencies. 4. Documenting improvement actions. And finally, 5. Verifying the impact.
All right, let's kick things off with Part 1, the AI Auditor's Mission. Moving right along to Step 2, Mastering the PDCA Model. Okay, so this brings us to the Plan, Do, Check, Act, or PDCA cycle. Honestly, it's the absolute engine of continuous improvement within the ISO/IEC 42201 framework. You plan by identifying your risks and setting objectives. You do by implementing those plans. You check by monitoring and auditing the results. And finally, you act by taking corrective action on any gaps you found along the way. Today, we're shining a massive spotlight on the check and act phases, because really, this is where we as auditors get to find the flaws and mandate those crucial improvements.
Which brings us to Part 3, Spotting Governance Deficiencies.
So when we're using that check step of the PDCA cycle, we aren't just digging around in the code. We're looking at the entire governance structure surrounding the AI. So I want you to ask yourself a pretty crucial question. Where do AI systems hide their biggest risks? You might think it's buried deep in the complex math of some neural network, right? But actually, more often than not, the most dangerous risks are hiding in plain sight, right within the management and government structures themselves. Let's look at the usual suspects.
When we audit an AI management system, we're actively hunting for gaps in 3 critical areas. First up, ineffective AI ethics committees. Look, having an oversight committee on paper means absolutely nothing if they don't have any actual authority. If a tool is deployed without a rigorous, documented review process, that is a massive deficiency. Second, lack of model explainability. We'll touch on this more in a second, but opaque black box models, huge red flag. And third, ongoing data privacy vulnerabilities. AI just devours data, so weak privacy measures are literally a disaster waiting to happen.
Let's drill down into that second point for a moment, model explainability. The crucial takeaway here is that a credit scoring algorithm, for example, cannot just act as a black box. If it rejects an applicant, the system has to be completely transparent about exactly why. If a customer or a regulator comes knocking for the rationale, and your only answer is, well, the computer said so, you are directly violating the transparency requirements of the standard. The logic simply must be understandable.
And hey, speaking of regulations, 72, that is a magic number. It represents the incredibly urgent 72-hour window mandated by the GDPR for reporting a data breach. It's the perfect example of how data privacy regulations directly overlap with our audit requirements. If your AI system processes personal data, your information security management system has to be robust enough to detect a breach, assess it, and notify the authorities within exactly 72 hours. If our audit reveals your incident response takes, say, a week, yeah, we've just found a critical area for improvement.
All right, on to Part 4, Documenting Improvement Actions. So, transitioning to the act phase of our cycle. Finding a problem during the check phase is great, but it's just not enough. We have to rigorously document the fix. Think about the difference between a weak plan and a compliant one. A terrible, vague improvement plan sounds like, fix AI bias. I mean, who is fixing it? By when? How do we even know it worked? It's practically useless. Now, compare that to a highly specific, compliant action plan. Retrain model with diverse dataset by month 2. Ethics committee to verify. Boom. It's actionable, it has a hard deadline, and it specifies an oversight mechanism. That is exactly what we need to see as auditors. To guarantee that kind of accountability, you really need a gold standard structure for your case file documentation. It comes down to clearly defining the improvement action and then assigning strict accountability to a responsible party, meaning an actual name or title is attached to the task. Then you set smart, measurable milestones for your timeline. And crucially, you've got to establish a strict verification method. For example, if the data science lead retrains a credit AI model, the ethics committee is on the hook to review it and ensure the issue is actually resolved. This kind of structure is a total game changer for compliance.
Finally, we hit part 5, verifying the impact. So we've documented the airtight action plans. But how do we know the fixes actually worked? We verify the impact by looking for specific mechanisms. As auditors, we never just take their word for it. We look for post-deployment audits. Are they actively testing the AI in the real world? We track risk reduction KPIs, like if the fix was meant to reduce skewed hiring outcomes, does the data actually show a 20% drop in those incidents? We monitor incident response times to make sure they can hit that 72-hour window we talked about. And we look for continuous user feedback loops, just to ensure that if the AI starts drifting back into bad habits, users can flag it immediately.
And that wraps up our PDCA playbook. I want to leave you with this final, kind of provocative thought to chew on. Your AI is learning every single day, right? But is your management system learning with it? A static governance framework simply cannot oversee a dynamic, evolving technology. Use the Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle to continuously identify those deficiencies, document rigorous action plans, and verify their impact. So go out there, be the ultimate AI detectives, and systematically fortify your systems. Thanks for joining this explainer, and keep learning.